We begin on Earth with the bounty hunter playing through her copy of the video game Buck Thunder 2 Xenoslaughter when her sister, Lizzie, interrupts to tell her that their parents have left on a trip and they now have the house to themselves. Leaving the house to get supplies for a wild party Lizzie plans to throw, an alien craft suddenly appears, and they hide behind a parked car where they witness one of the aliens killing their neighbor before another alien's killed by his allies. Investigating the dead alien's body, the hunter finds a smaller, gun-shaped alien in its jacket who speaks to her in a foreign language before spitting on her, which infects her with the contagious translator microbes, allowing her to speak and understand alien languages. After she removes the inhibitor chip used to control him, the alien introduces himself as Kenny, a Gatlian, or race of sentient gun-like creatures originating from the planet Gatlas, and explains to the hunter that Earth's being invaded by Garmantuous, the alien leader of the G3 cartel, an infamous intergalactic crime syndicate which plans to convert the entire human race into drugs. In order to avoid being captured, the hunter and Kenny work together to escape Earth, stealing one of the G3's warp drives, powering it with the house's microwave, and using it to warp the entire house to Blim City on the planet Nova Sanctus. In need of help to fight against Garmantuous and the G3, in addition to being unable to return to Earth without its coordinates, Kenny advises the hunter to find and hire the famous bounty hunter Gene Zaruthian, whom they discover has become disabled, which has prevented him from working, leading him to becoming homeless. While Gene's initially uninterested in helping the hunter, he changes his mind when he learns that the house belongs to her, offering to make her a true bounty hunter in exchange for ownership of the house in the event of her death. The hunter accepts, and Gene gives her his old bounty suit, equipped with the operating system Pseudo, which directs the hunter to Mr. Keep's pawn shop to buy back the suit's activation license in order to disable its trial mode, as Gene previously sold it. After reactivating the suit, the hunter returns to the house, where Gene's moved into and set up the Bounty 5000, or B5K, a machine which tracks available bounty targets and their location information as it becomes available, capable of opening a portal to the corresponding planet, allowing instantaneous travel there. Gene directs the hunter to use the B5K to accept the contract on Nine Torg, the Torg family matriarch who's constantly stuck in a power struggle with her own clones, and who commands a small-time crime family of ant goons, which claim the nearby Blim slums as their turf. Gene also advises the hunter that Nine Torg took his favorite knife, Knifey, a sentient blade which the hunter reacquires while learning about the Gatlian's unique trick-hole abilities, such as Kenny's glob shot, on the way to confront Nine Torg at the Sludge Works, her sewage plant hideout. With the aid of both Kenny and Knifey, the hunter's able to battle and defeat Nine Torg, collecting a piece of her corpse to supply to the B5K as proof of the kill in order to receive payment. Returning home, the hunter checks in with Gene and turns in the bounty before heading back to Mr. Keep's, buying back the suit's dodge unit, allowing her to quickly maneuver in any direction. Afterward, the hunter begins going after the G3's head officers, first accepting the bounty on Krubus, the G3's chief of mining operations for Fergles, small sentient creatures used as drugs, charged with overseeing their procurement and shipping on the planet of Zephyr Paradise. Entering the B5K's portal and making her way through the planet's jungle, the hunter encounters and frees a village of Moplets, indigenous bear-like creatures who were frequently captured by the G3, and they point the hunter in the direction of Ranchi Delarmo, a drug-addicted businessman and associate of Krubus, who gives her a warp remote, a device which uses warp disks, each loaded with the coordinates of an object, to instantly teleport that object to the remote's location. After finding the coordinates of Krubus' base, the hunter encodes them onto a blank disk, then uses the remote to teleport the base to her location, before fighting and defeating Krubus, afterward harvesting his DNA, and rescuing Gus, another Gatlian, with shotgun-like capabilities. The hunter then returns home, turns in Krubus' bounty, and picks up the bounty of Douglas, the G3's chief of training and torture, an unpredictable party animal with a big drug abuse problem, who trains and tortures new recruits at the G3 facilities in Dregtown on the Port Tureen space station. Venturing through the B5K's gateway portal, the hunter proceeds through Old Town before arriving at the Dregtown G3 Recruitment Center, fighting her way through the training program while assisting Dr. Jupy, an alien searching for the members of his family, whom he claims were captured by Douglas. Upon reaching Douglas's headquarters, Jupy reveals himself to be Douglas, entering his own suit and attacking the hunter, forcing her to battle and defeat him. After retrieving a sample of Douglas's DNA, the hunter rescues Sweezy, yet another Gatlian, possessing time-slowing abilities. Upon turning in Douglas's bounty back home, Gene informs the hunter that Clug Nugman, Blim's magistrate, wants to meet with her, and uses the B5K to activate a portal to his office. Entering his office, the hunter is greeted by Clug, who explains that he wants to ally with her against the G3, providing a human rescue tool, a device capable of teleporting any captured human she locates at G3 facilities to the Human Haven, an ostensibly safe location within an unknown sector of space. Following Gene's advice, the hunter then returns to Mr. Keeps to buy a jetpack for the bounty suit, allowing for additional mobility, before accepting the bounty on the Skrendel Bros, three brothers who oversee and run Skrendel Labs, a G3 facility on Zephyr that researches new product innovations, such as the cloning and breeding of sentient drugs. Traveling through the laboratories, the hunter rescues Creature, another Gatlian who can rapidly spawn miniature organisms with psychic mind-controlling abilities due to the G3's experiments on him. Also discovering humans being experimented on in the facilities, the hunter uses the rescue tool to teleport them to the Haven before encountering the Skrendel Bros, Jonathan, Angela, and Mona, who combine their bodies to form the Brotron. After defeating them, the hunter again acquires their DNA and returns home, turning in their bounty before meeting Tweeg, Lizzie's boyfriend, and accepting the bounty for Dr. John Giblets, PhD, a genius scientist working as the G3's head of research and development, currently at an unknown location. Gene activates the bounty suit's detective mode, allowing the hunter to search Blim for a lead on Giblets' whereabouts by interrogating residents, with the trail eventually leading to Blordo, a warp disk seller posing as a food vendor who directs the hunter to the new High on Life store in the slums. Arriving at the store, the hunter learns that it sells hyperbongs, or devices capable of converting different species into drugs and allowing them to be smoked, and is currently having a midnight launch for the new Hyperbong 6, which is capable of smoking humans. Returning home, the hunter's greeted by the Suits, two mysterious aliens who identify themselves as Klug's sons, explaining that the slum's Torg crew teamed up with Giblets, and that Klug wants him eliminated to remove the G3's presence from Blim. After receiving map data from Klug, which contains Giblets' current location on Zephyr, the hunter infiltrates his base, finding that he was experimenting on and killing his own henchmen due to his extreme paranoia. The hunter then locates and unintentionally sneaks up behind Giblets, causing him to panic, falling from the chair he's standing on, and smashing his suit's protective helmet, killing him. After taking a piece of his corpse, and fighting her way through the base's automated security system, the hunter rescues Let's Do It, an extremely powerful Gatlian, on the verge of death from Giblets' experiments, taking him back to the house and giving him to Gene to fix, before turning in Giblets' bounty. Gene informs the hunter that Lizzie's been gone for a while, recommending that she check in with Tweeg, who works at the Space Applebee's in the slums, and Kenny asks her to leave the other Gatlians in the house so that he can talk to her alone. At Applebee's, Kenny explains that back on Gatlas, which was undiscovered by the greater interstellar civilization at the time, he had always wanted to explore the galaxy, and one day, a smuggler named Rel Del Mar happened to crash a ship on Gatlas. After Kenny helped him with the repairs, Rel offered him a place on his crew, and Kenny accepted, eventually crossing paths with Garmantuous, which made him aware of the existence of Gatlians and their potential as weapons. This resulted in the G3 starting a war to conquer Gatlas, using an engineered supervirus to zombify the vast majority of Gatlians, turning them into enslaved, mindless weapons for the G3, with a few Gatlians who happen to be naturally immune forming a rebellion, led by Let's Do It. The hunter finds Lizzie, who flies off with Tweeg in his space RV just as the G3 invade Blim, forcing the group to use the house's warp core to quickly teleport away, ending up on the now completely destroyed and uninhabitable Gatlas. Gene upgrades the bounty suit with an extra overshield before the hunter brings Lizzie back to the house, and Kenny confesses his involvement in Gatlas' destruction to the other Gatlians. The hunter then accepts the bounty on Nipulon, G3's chief of customer liaisons and Garmantuous' second-in-command, who runs an illegal drug lounge on Tureen, where high-end criminal clientele can go to get high on any aliens they want. Again passing through Old Town, the hunter meets with Papa Mac and Cheese and his sons, the Mac and Cheese brothers, construction workers who assist her by forming a bridge of love, allowing her to cross a ravine to retrieve a medicinal flower for a shady goop salesman, who gives her a black market coating of goop, the protective armor-like coating worn by soldiers of the G3, allowing her to gain access to the lounge in order to reach Nipulon. Entering Nipulon's office, the hunter overcomes the hallucinogenic drugs he exposes her to, fighting and defeating him, before retrieving Earth's coordinates from his computer, along with his nipple for the bounty, returning home to turn it in, just as Gene finishes repairing Let's Do It. Before returning to Earth, the hunter decides to visit the humans she rescued at the Haven, inside of which, she finds a secret section where some of the humans were experimented on, resulting in their deaths. Exploring further, she finds Klug with Dr. Gurgula, a mysterious scientist determined to unlock the secrets of the universe at any cost, responsible for the invention of translator microbes and the Gatlian plague, working with the G3 to further his studies through experimentation on alien races, including the Fergals, Gatlians, and humans. Gurgula kills Klug, explains that he believes humans hold the key to his research, and escapes, before the Suits appear, claiming that they hated Klug and want to help by keeping the remaining humans safe until the hunter reclaims Earth. Returning to the house, the hunter picks up Let's Do It before warping it back to Earth, where Gene gives her a remote atomizer bomb, capable of killing Garmantuous if all else fails, as a last resort. Using Les Do It to blast her way through countless G3 soldiers in the now completely enemy-occupied area, the hunter finally locates and confronts Garmantuous, and after a fierce battle, manages to incapacitate him, shoving the bomb inside of his body to prevent his thick, armor-like skin from protecting him from the blast. However, the bomb's remote detonator fails to activate it, and Garmantuous recovers, killing Jack Black and Susan Sarandon, two of Earth's most beloved humans, in retaliation, before the hunter again fights and incapacitates him. Kenny then volunteers to sacrifice himself by going inside Garmantuous and manually detonating the bomb, causing a massive explosion, which kills Garmantuous. As the group begins to mourn amidst the pieces of Garmantuous' body raining down around them, Kenny also falls back to the ground, and they all rejoice to discover that he's still alive.